to all this late night talking.
There you go, that's the sound of Harry Styles and Late Night Talking. And that's what we're going to be doing now. Talking, of course, about Heritage Week, because there are over 90 events planned for Heritage Week here in County Donegal. And the message is that there is something for everyone. Delighted to say, and joined in studio now by Joseph Gallagher, Donegal Heritage Officer. Joseph, a very good afternoon to you.
Hi, Kevin.
Good to have you with us on the show today.
Thank you.
So, Joseph, this year's theme is Living Heritage. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, this year we're kind of focusing on the traditions and practices and knowledge and skills that have been passed down from one generation to the next, and kind of trying to put a focus on that. So, again, kind of communities, there's a lot of local history in those areas, but there's also a lot of local traditions that would be there. And, some of those are disappearing, and a lot of people are proud of those traditions and they want to share their knowledge about their local history and heritage. So Heritage Week is really an ideal opportunity to do that. And I suppose it's to try and bring some of those stories to life. And we've got some, great people in kind of local historical societies and local heritage groups who are very good at bringing those stories to life. So if you want to find out about the traditions and skills in Donegal, Heritage Week is a great opportunity to meet with local people and to find out kind of about the traditions in the county. And of course, a lot of those traditions now are particularly since COVID as well, are regaining a new life and they're taking on a new form. So, it's not just about the past as well, it's about the present and how we can play a role in handing on some of those traditions into the future as well.
And is that a fear of losing some of these traditions as the years goes on?
Well, yeah, I suppose it's just the way the society is. We are losing traditions. There are ones that fall out of favour. Again, they're being replaced by other what will become traditions as well in the future. And I suppose that's kind of natural in society. But I suppose what we want to do is we want to try and sort of document and record and convey what those practices were and their importance in terms of the story of Donegal and the people of Donegal. So, like I said, Heritage Week is really an opportunity to do that. And then we'll be embracing new traditions as time goes on as well.
Yeah, so keeping the current, the traditions alive, basically.
Yeah, and maybe sometimes it's just kind of those traditions kind of being handed on in a different form. They're still there, but they're being relayed in a different way. With social media now, there's a whole new opportunity there to promote our heritage as well.
A whole new world, basically.
Absolutely.
And can you tell us about some of the events that will be taking place throughout the week?
Yeah, it's a really varied programme. We've got field trips, there's guided walks, there's site visits, there's traditional skills demonstrations, there's a number of open houses as well throughout the county, there's exhibitions and talks and workshops, historical reenactments, and there's also kind of launch events. So, we're kind of encouraging people to basically go out and enjoy Heritage Week, but also to support the local groups and individuals that have organised events for Heritage Week. And it also might inspire people of all ages to get more involved in their local heritage, because there's a lot of heritage that needs support and needs conservation and needs better management. And again, by doing that, you're supporting kind of heritage professionals as well. And, there's supporting tourism, because again, a lot of our tourism relies on our heritage, and also kind of supporting kind of local businesses. But the programme in Donegal has always been very impressive. And every year, I say it every year, but I really do mean it, the quality of events every year, just seems to increase. And, there's over 90 events. Most of the events are free. So this is really a great opportunity to try and explore the local heritage. Some of the events that are going on now today over in Glenveigh, and again, Glenveigh National Park has kind of a full programme of events, but they have an open day at the Bridge House Education Centre. So if you want to find out about natural heritage, between 11 and 4 today, and also next Sunday between 11 and 4, you can visit the Education Centre there. In Rafo, all days, every day this week, from 11 to 2. They've just closed now, probably for today.
Just missed them.
But you've got the rest of the week to explore that, and it's our Heritage in Pictures. Again, looking at the heritage town of Rafo. There's an exhibition also on in the courthouse in Lifford, looking at a trek through time, looking at how traditions have changed over that period. That's on from 10 to 4 daily. The Workhouse in Dunfanny has a full programme of events as well, starting today. Tomorrow, for example, an interesting combination here: history and yoga at the County Museum.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was reading about that earlier. I thought that's an interesting one.
That's it. So I suppose it's kind of for the heart and the mind, So that starts at 11 o'clock, and if you just contact the County Museum just to book your place on that, so you can find out about the history of the place, and then, like I said, get a little bit of exercise in as well. And I suppose that's one of the things too about a lot of the field trips that are organised for Heritage Week. It's not just about kind of relating the history or the heritage of a particular area. It's also a social event. It's kind of meeting other people that have similar interests, or maybe people from abroad who are visiting the county. It's a chance to meet people in the local community as well, who are kind of telling us about the heritage in their area. But it's also kind of about getting out and getting some exercise, walking around. Yeah. So again, you're not in a gym. You're actually out walking around, and you don't realise that you're doing perhaps as much walking as you could. So it's a good opportunity to do that as well. Tomorrow evening as well in St. Garvin's National School in Rathmullen, there's also an illustrated talk on the wildflowers and aspects of built heritage in 17 townlands from Uachtar Lynn to Loswilly. And that starts at 8 o'clock. And again, there's a great local history group there that are kind of are promoting the heritage of the area there. On Wednesday, the Letterkenny Cathedral Quarter here, they have the Letterkenny Cathedral Quarter experience. And I say, if anybody hasn't been on that tour, it's only about 45 minutes. Right. It's a little walk around the Cathedral Quarter, but you get to meet some of the characters who lived in the area. There's kind of the historical reenactments. And it's really a wonder. And there's one or two surprises as well along the way. So I'd encourage you. It's free. It starts at 7:30 on Wednesday evening. It's also on Saturday at 2:30. Okay. And like I said, it's you'll find out about the history of the area, but like I said, you'll also meet some of the characters and that. Thursday then, like in Inishowen, there's Eco Inishowen, and again, our natural heritage is really important as well, because our heritage covers, our natural built and our cultural heritage, so it's very broad, and they have a whole day plan from 12:30 to 2:30. Talking about sort of our biodiversity and our natural heritage, and that's in the Colgan Hall in Carndonagh. And in the Central Library on Thursday evening as well, Dr. Angela Byrne is giving a series of talks on life and society in Donegal in 1923, because this is the end now of the decade of centenaries. Yes. So she's giving that talk at various regional locations around the county, but she happens to be in Letterkenny in the Central Library at 6:30 on Thursday evening, so it's a good opportunity to catch up there. And then there's aspects of heritage too, perhaps that many people wouldn't be aware of. And there's an exhibition on called A Resolute People, which opens on Thursday evening between 6 and 9, and also on Friday evening between 6 and 9 in the Orange Hall in Newton Cunningham, entitled A Resolute People, The Story of Orangism in the Republic of Ireland. Okay, so again, to find out about, different traditions, and a chance to hear sort of, the different aspects of our heritage as well. Yeah. And so there's a great programme there. Friday then in the west of the county, the Treasures in Our Bogs, again looking at our natural heritage. Many of us would be familiar with A Day in the Bog. But also they've got an exhibition there, the Donegal Gap Heritage and History Group. They've organised an exhibition and also a concert that evening, sort of around the theme of our natural heritage and about our boglands. So there's really a wonderful programme there. And then, like I said, into the weekend, there's a whole variety of other events as well.
So there's something basically for everyone in there.
There really is. And like I said, we could sit here all day and probably wouldn't get through all the different events, and there's a wonderful festival over, which starts on Thursday as well, over in the west of the county in Chamakey McGowan. And there's things like a tour to Inishboffin Island. There's demonstrations of traditional skills. There's talks about local traditions over 4 days, So there's wonderful events going on out there, and I would encourage people to go along and support them, and to get involved in heritage in the longer term as well, because it does rely. I suppose a lot of the heritage management that's taking place through these groups is taking place on a voluntary basis, and they're very proud of their heritage, and again they want other people to know about it, but they can always do with that little bit of extra support as well. So if you're interested in heritage and you'd like to get involved in your local area, go along to some of these events. There's lots of opportunities to do that as well.
because it's important, I suppose, too, for even the area now and preserving things and having for visitors to have these attractions for people to come to and see this was the way of life in Ireland, say, 100 years ago.
Well, absolutely. And again, too, I think it's important to say, that the heritage sector really has played its part, in terms of economic recovery. Like I said, a lot of the work is done on a voluntary basis. But again, there are people sort of coming out of college as well that, there are opportunities as well in the heritage sector, and we need to make sure that their skills are recognised as well, and the importance of heritage, be it to our tourism, be it to our economic development or to job opportunities. I think, Heritage Week really highlights the fact that there's greater investment needed sort of in our heritage sector to support that sector and to get more people involved on a professional basis in heritage.
Yeah. So there's something basically for everyone, whether you have young kids or whatever, like there's, every box is ticked basically.
Absolutely. And I suppose a lot of the school children now will be going back to school in the next 10 days or 2 weeks, so this is kind of maybe a last opportunity as well to get out and like I said, it's a good opportunity for families to go out and see what's on. And like I said, there's so much going on all across the county. And, again, for families as well, it's a challenging time financially. And with a lot of these events being free, it's great to go along and support them. And, and some of them you'll get a cup of tea and you'll get a pastry and so on. The generosity of some of the groups is actually tremendous, So
if people are interested or they're thinking might go to something, they can check out all the events on the website?
That's right, yeah. The Heritage Week is coordinated by the Heritage Council and the local authority heritage officers around the country. So if you go to heritageweek.ie, you get all the details there, and you can search by day and you can search by county. You can also search by times, so that you can get the whole listing there. You can also create your own events trail if there's events that you want to see, and you can print that out and you can share it with your friends on social media as well. So there's an opportunity to do that. We've also got a listing and a day-by-day breakdown on the Donegal County Council website, donegalcoco.ie, so that the details are there. And some of the local newspapers as well have carried a listing in last week's papers,
And can you tell us too about the particular theme on Saturday, August 19th? It's Wild Child Day.
That's right, yeah, that's right. There's 2 theme days, and like you said, Wild Child Day is on Saturday the 19th. And that really encourages kind of children and families to go outdoors and to explore the natural heritage in their area and the biodiversity. And, again, one of the crises now, I suppose, at the moment is biodiversity loss. We've got biodiversity loss and climate change, two nationally declared crises. So there's a great opportunity. And again, we have wonderful ecologists working in the area who are trying to convey that, not in a not kind of overtly scientific, but kind of trying to get people to engage about their heritage in their local area. And there's some wonderful resources out there as well, that schools can use. So again, we'd encourage teachers and, like I said, families to go out on that day and to explore some of the events there, and to also get their children enthused and concerned about our natural heritage and the stories that they tell. But again, above all, I suppose the main thing is to have fun and to enjoy it. And that's a lot of the events are targeted in that way.
Yeah, perfect. Just remind us again of the dates.
Yeah, so it started there on Saturday, the 12th of August, and it runs until next Sunday, the 20th of August. And like I said, there's events, whether you're interested in the natural heritage, the built heritage, or our cultural heritage. There's something there for everyone.
And you can find out a list of all the events on the website as well.
On heritageweek.ie, yeah.
That's perfect. Joseph Gallagher, well, best of luck with the rest of the week. And I suppose it's about telling people to get out there and enjoy, I suppose, the last couple of days we have of the summer and enjoy basically your history. That's right. And I think the forecast as well, I think the weather's supposed to improve as the week goes on. So let's hope we'll get lots of people coming out for that. Keep the fingers and toes crossed. Joseph Gallagher, the Donegal Heritage Officer, thank you very much for joining us here on the programme.
Get ready for an extraordinary summer at Manor Motors. Rev up your excitement with a brand new Opel.